All right. Before we get to this, I just want to again say, here's where I want to go back to what we were talking about at the beginning. Performance enablement, any performance you want to affect. Today we're talking about sales, and think about it. Very, very different sales use cases that we are presenting today. The furniture store, the direct selling company, and now a highly intense and complicated sale, right, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this is where you start to, see this a different approach, right? So in this use case, again, of another Rallyware customer, is that a large technology organization has a complex sales process, and at the same time, a tremendous number of sales reps. So there's a lot of places for sales reps to just kind of chill out and kind of hide in the weeds, if you want to say. And again, what we want to try to do is help motivate and encourage and drive and really kind of lift everybody. So, performance enablement can take a look at any possible thing. So like in this specific use case, what we're looking at here is kind of stages in the deal funnel and how can we impact and motivate and then drive people to different stages in the sales funnel. Also at the same time, dealing with partners. So again, this organization does a really good job with partner enablement. And so what they do is they utilize a performance enablement platform to help them kind of get their partners involved by, one, providing great incentive activities for them to be involved, two, provide them with their next activities, very easy activities for them to do to drive that partnership, and to reward them for those activities. So this is a great business case outside of retail, outside of direct selling, into the tech space. So I think one of these things that it calls out really is that the idea behind performance enablement can impact, many different areas. And that's how we have to kind of think about this is that while we are talking primarily about sales today, what other areas of my business can performance enablement really help impact, drive, and really provide a better employee experience? Because employees, they've got a better understanding of what their job is. They have a better understanding of what activities they need to do.
Okay, I'm going to go completely off script here.
Sure.
How surprising, huh?
Yeah.
So here you're talking about, though, you were just talking about incentivizing the different parts of that sales funnel for this complex sale deal, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now take that. Let's talk to our direct sellers out there. This is very powerful in a performance enablement platform, what you can do with your incentives out there. Right? So think about that, folks. All of us for decades have been hanging that carrot out there, that trip to Cancun, that whatever it might be, knowing that your top 1% to 2% are always going to get it. What can you do to move the middle? So Dan, maybe you want to talk about that a little bit, because I'm telling you, in direct sales, that ability using performance enablement is invaluable.
Rich, I really, really like this topic, actually. I think one of the best things about this topic is that when we want to align an incentive program and we're saying, hey, look, okay, go do these activities, enroll this people, have this many preferred customers, so on and so forth, and we set our parameters up for that. A lot of times those parameters are set with one goal in mind, and that's to make sure we're covering the cost of the incentive trip and that we're going to drive certain things. Kind of ends at that in a lot of ways. So when you run a performance enablement platform in conjunction with an incentive program, you can start to bring in other elements of the business to kind of impact all of that. So for example, because of the fact that we can, the idea is you can build those activities around, say, the comp program, and those behaviors are developing, how can you now take and put some small breadcrumbs into that, run a small incentive program, quick 2-week, 3-week, 4-week incentive program, just to incentivize some activity in between those big milestones. So not necessarily we have the great big ones, but also at the same time, by being able to utilize that data to drive the next activities, you can be very prescriptive on how you want to set up those incentive programs. So, an incentive program that says, for the next 4 weeks in a row, sell, $100 or whatever. And then you can be able to very simply build an incentive program that, again, breadcrumbs in between those big milestones. I think that's a great way of thinking about it as well.
It is. And even for you retailers out there, right?
Absolutely.
I've got this March promotion you're running. I've got to sell so much, but also in between, as I start getting rid of some of these inventory items that we are trying to push, man, maybe I get spiffed for, you just sold 2 of those, boom. You just sold 3 of those, boom, that kind of thing. So that's what we're talking about here. It's that constant engagement, pat on the back, recognition, making me feel like I'm special or part of something bigger than me, right? All right. We're sort of coming back around to where we began. So if you remember that first slide, we're talking about the landscape that we can't figure out in 2023. How are we going to address this not knowing what's going to happen? Proactively address that, right? So we know we've got to do something in that digital space. We know whether we're retail and we need that consolidation for the user and company, or whether I'm direct selling and I need to keep marching down that path of digitalization.